I didn't come back for anything dramatic. No funeral, no breakup, no midnight call. Just a box of paperwork my mother insisted I'd left behind. School records, old documents, the kind of things that only matter once you're old enough to need proof you existed somewhere. I arrived in the late afternoon, that low light where everything looks thinner than it should. The street hadn't changed. Same trees, same fences, same houses, pretending they weren't full of other people's lives. The house was still there, waiting. My mother opened the door before I knocked. She hugged me with one arm, the other still holding the frame, like she needed to stay anchored. Inside, the air was cool, not air-conditioned cool, held. The hallway looked the same, too narrow, too low, carpet worn flat by years of pacing. I walked toward the back of the house without thinking, and stopped. Not because something was there, because something wasn't. The hallway ended sooner than it should have. Not dramatically, just shorter. Bedroom doors, linen cupboard, bathroom, then a wall. A framed print hung slightly crooked. I stood there longer than I meant to. "Did you repaint?" I asked. "No," my mother said. Too quickly. I touched the wall beneath the frame. Cool, solid, not new, just final. I turned back. My parents were watching me in that careful way people do when they don't want to interfere or explain. "Where's the—" I stopped, saying it felt childish. "That room," I said, "at the end of the hall." My mother didn't hesitate. There was never a room there. No pause, no confusion, just certainty. And that's when I knew something was wrong. Over tea, they acted normal. They asked about work, about traffic, about whether I was eating properly. My father commented on the weather, like he always did. But I wasn't listening. I kept replaying the same fact. There was a room, not a bedroom, not a place full of memories, just a room. The way a door is a door, the way stairs are stairs. Certain, I walked down the hall again later, slower this time. Bedroom, bedroom, linen, bathroom, wall. I knocked once. The sound came back dull and immediate. No hollow space. I pressed my ear against it. All I heard was the low hum of the house. And beneath it, something else. Not a sound, a pressure, like standing too close to a speaker that isn't playing anything. I stepped back. My mother was behind me. I hadn't heard her approach. "That's just the wall," she said. Not angry, tired. "Why are you doing this?" I asked. "Doing what?" "Pretending," I said. "Like I'm wrong." She watched the wall. "We're not pretending," she said. "There was never a room there." I started to argue, then stopped. Because the longer I stood there, the more it felt like standing too close to something that didn't want attention. That night, my father brought out the box. A plastic tub, faded lid. Labeled in marker, U, school. At the bottom was a smaller box, cardboard, taped shut. My mother stiffened when she saw it. On the tape were 3 words in her handwriting. "Videos do not throw." Inside were VHS tapes, mini DV cassettes, birthdays, Christmas, beach trips. One tape had no label, just a date, written in my handwriting. I didn't remember writing it. I didn't remember owning a camera. But I knew the writing. My parents watched me like they were waiting for something to break. "You can take those," my father said. "Watch them at home. Not here." I didn't go straight home. I drove to a friend's place. He still had an old TV, an old player. The first tape was Christmas. Tinny sound, overexposed light. My mother laughing. My father's voice off camera. The camera drifted down the hallway, and there it was. A door. Plain, white, scuffed near the bottom. Exactly where the wall was now. The camera didn't focus on it. It didn't matter to the person filming. It mattered to me. I rewound, played it again. The door was still there. Another tape. Another year. Same hallway. Same door. But this time the sound changed. The closer the camera got, the duller everything became. Like the room was absorbing it. I paused the frame. Nothing looked wrong. Nothing I could explain. But my body felt the same pressure I'd felt against the wall, like a note held too low to hear. I saved the unlabeled tape for last. The screen filled with static. Then the hallway appeared. Night. Only a lamp glowing faintly from the lounge. The camera was low. Deliberate. A voice spoke. My voice. "I'm recording this because I keep forgetting." My chest tightened. The camera crept forward, toward the door. Up close it looked unfinished. Paint uneven, edges misaligned, like it had been installed in a hurry. "I remember the room," my voice said. "They don't want me to talk about it." The hum deepened. The camera stopped just short of the handle. "I can hear it," the voice whispered. The picture fuzzed at the edges. Then the hand entered the frame. My hand. Reaching. Just before it touched, the tape glitched. Sound tore sideways, and in the distortion, something else. Not loud, not clear. A phrase half buried in static. Close. Patient. Don't make it remember you. The tape cut to black. I didn't sleep that night. Not because I was afraid, because something had settled. A recognition. The way my parents spoke, the way they moved past the hallway. Like it was dangerous to acknowledge empty space. The next day, I went back. Daylight, normal hours, normal rules. The print was still there. Crooked. I straightened it. My mother inhaled sharply. I pressed my palm to the wall. Cool, solid, and underneath, that pressure, like the house was holding something back. I closed my eyes and remembered a sensation, a doorknob, a hum in my bones, my mother shouting my name. Then nothing. I opened my eyes. My mother was crying. "Please," she said. Just that. "Please, hey." And I understood. They weren't denying the room because it wasn't real. They were denying it because remembering it made it closer. I asked them to tell me. My father shook his head. My mother said she couldn't. Finally, my father spoke. "We kept it asleep," he said. I asked what that meant. He didn't answer directly. He talked about gaps, lost minutes, then hours. Times they couldn't find me. "You wouldn't remember," my mother said. "That's what it takes. Not people, not bodies, continuity." I asked what it took from me. They didn't know, only what it left. A gap, a place where something should have been. That's when the house changed. Not violently, quietly. The hallway felt longer, the air thicker. The print shifted, just slightly. A sound came from behind the wall. Not a knock. A click, like a latch being undone. The hum rose, and in it, something like a voice. Not clear, not human. A question I couldn't quite hear. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. The hallway stretched, and where the wall had been, there was a door. Plain, white, slightly scuffed, exactly as in the tapes. I didn't open it. I left. That night in my own house, I noticed something. My hallway was longer, by 3 steps. At the end of it was a door I hadn't installed. The paint was still tacky. The air around it felt held. And when the house went quiet, I could hear that note again. Waiting. Not for me to open the door. For me to remember why I already had.